of Web-GST software. The first step would be to create masters of the assessee. So let us see. I'll show you from a master which has already been created. So these details which are appearing in the top portion, these are the assessee details, the PAN number, the name of the assessee, the email ID and the mobile number. And once you have made the assessee details, then you can make the details for the business vertical. Business vertical is nothing but the different registrations of the assessee. If an assessee has only one registration, then only one business vertical is required. But if he has multiple registrations, that is in different states, then he can have different business verticals, like in this case. So, and when you create a business vertical, then all these details have to be filled. The GSTIN number and the ward circle, etc. The asterisk mark fields are mandatory, they have to be filled. Others may be filled or may be left blank. Then also you have to give the GST login details, the details of username and password that you use to log into the website, and also e-way bill login details. Then we can update it or save it. So once the assessee has been created, the next task is to create party masters. Now, generally in most of the cases, we will not be required to manually punch the data of the party masters, because wherever the data is huge, we would suggest, and it will be more useful if you import the data from your accounting or ERP softwares. So I've already imported the data in this case. So if we double click it, we will get this information, and we can even punch it if one or more parties have to be new parties are there, they can even be punched here like this. And we also have a very good facility of validating the GSTIN. We click on this, and then the message, the registered name of this GSTIN comes, and it also shows that this is valid GSTIN or invalid GSTIN. So I accept this, and if it is a new party, I'll save it or I'll update it. So this is how the master can be created, or as I said, it can be imported from the accounting or the ERP software. Then we also have to create bank master for making the bank payments. We can create the bank master giving all these mandatory details like this, and this can be used for making the payments of GST. Then again, important, user master. We can also create various users, because if a lot of data is to be punched, or the assessees are many, in that case we can have depute different staff for different companies or different assessees, and in that case we can create masters for these users also. So let us create it. Let's say it's let me modify it. So one is the administrator and the other is the user. Let me see what are the rights of this user. In this case, this user is supposed to do this work for this company, and when I click this, then the type of returns which he can access and work upon are given here. I can change it, I can select all also, and I can update it, or I can include another company in his kitty, and I can select, let's say 1, 2 and 3, or 2 also, and then update it. Then it says assign type. I can select all, and I can update it. This has been updated. So this is how you can create different users and assign rights to them. We also have this facility of disabling a particular user. If an employee has left, then you can disable that user, or you can modify the details as I just now showed you. When you right click it here, then you can modify it or double click it, or there's also an option of disabling this user. You can use this option, and in this case the user has been disabled. Now if you want to again enable this user, you again have to go to this, right click it and enable it. The user will be enabled. So this is how the user management will function. Then we also have the transporter master. This is basically required for e-way bill. Once you will have to create these transporter masters, and then subsequently when multiple entries or different entries on different dates are there for the transporter for e-way bill, then this master can be used. Then the facility of changing the month is there. We can change it by using Alt F2. Then UQC mapping. The unique quantity codes, maybe in your software, in your ERP or in Tally or Busy, the accounting softwares that you are using, let's say, for example, number is being represented by NO, whereas in GSTIN, the UQC for this numbers is NOS. So the two have to be mapped. So here we have mapped these two. So whenever it sees NO, it means it is NOS numbers. One time mapping is to be done. Once we save it, then subsequently it will not ask you about these things again and again. Then also when we want to know the HSN code of a particular item or the rate of a particular item, we can come to this help menu and it can provide us the various details, the various HSN and the rates, relevant rates we can find out from here, like this, like these different items are there, the specific item, the specific rate we can get here. So again, this is helpful in finding the HSN of the particular items and also the relevant rates of the same. So this was about masters. Now when we the first thing, that important thing that is to be done, as I also already told you, that in general whenever the data is huge, it is always advised that you import the data from the accounting package, Tally, Busy, or ERPs like SAP, Fences, etc. We have the facility of importing data from all these softwares, because manual punching will take a lot of time and it will result in duplication. So it is always advisable that you import the data, and this is the facility of importing the data from Tally or different accounting packages. We can select the accounting package and we can select the vouchers also, which need to be, let's say Tally, we are accepting Tally, and then the type of vouchers we need, sale, purchase, RCM, etc. We can select the relevant vouchers, select the relevant company, and we can import the data from here. And once the data is imported, we can go to computation, and here the imported data will come. The data is being obtained, and this is how the data will appear. The data will appear in a very user-friendly manner, because just at one place on one screen you are getting everything: outward supplies, inward supplies, what are the amounts of sales and purchases, what is the GST amount under various heads of GST, cess, etc., and what is the total tax, what the taxes have been paid, and what is the net tax payable. So everything is available on one screen. You do not have to go to different screens for assessing this liability or understanding the various things. And also, when the data is being imported, that is imported in one go and from the complete data of Tally or Busy, whatever you are using. But this data is being taken to different buckets, like local supplies, intrastate. While importing, it will not ask you whether this is intrastate or interstate, or it is more than 2.5 lakhs or it is less than 2.5 lakhs. At that time, it just imports the data, but it puts it into different buckets so that you can differentiate the data, because this data will be required in the return also. So, and if we want any details, we can get to the double click that item, and here it will show the party wise details of the invoices like this. And if we further double click it, then it will show the different invoices also. And if you further want to drill it down, then we will go to the invoice level also, like this. And if some small minor changes to be done, you can do that, and you can then save it and close it. But here it is disabled because the return has already been filed. So all these kind of checks are there, and you can use the escape button to go back and come to the main computation screen like this. Similarly, central supplies, interstate sales, then supplies to consumers less than 2.5 lakhs, greater than 2.5 lakhs, local supplies, nil rated supplies, then effect of debit credit notes. Everything is appearing, the summary is appearing, and the details, you can double click it and go to the details like this. So very convenient way. And then also you can get the return file status. We can get the return file status from the GST website, and already you can see, since we have already obtained this status, it shows the acknowledgement number and the filing date also of the returns that have been filed. In this case, GSTR 1 and GSTR 3B have been filed, and the acknowledgement number and the filing dates are available here. Then the various facilities that are available, let us see. You can change the month from here. If you want to go to a different month, you can change the month from here itself. Then assessee information. If you want to view the assessee information or make some changes, you can again do it from here like this. We can do the changes or modify it or view it. Then many a times you want to take a printout of the computation to be able to show to your senior, or maybe you want to show send it to your clients, etc. In that case, you can click on this button and you will get computation in Word format like this, and you can even take a printout of this. You can take a PDF form of this, and you can even email it to your client. Then once the data is complete, we can generate the GSTR1 return like this, and the summary is appearing here. We can have a look at it, and if we think that is okay, then we can save the return, and we can upload the return from here itself using the GSP services. So this facility is available. Even taking a printout of this facility is available like this. You can take save this file and take a printout. So this is how the return can be uploaded directly from here using the GSP services of Webtel. Then similarly, other returns can be filed. GSTR 3B also. Presently only GSTR 1 and GSTR 3B are being filed. So from this complete data, we can generate 3B also like this. The summary will appear. And as you can see, the return is already filed for this period, but otherwise you will be able to save this and upload this return on the GST portal directly using the GSP services. But if sometimes you do not have the complete data and you want to only file GSTR 3B using the summary information, then also that facility is available. Here you can directly make entries in this form. Here also, without going into the details, because sometimes they may not be available, they may not be handy. In that case, you can just punch in the data here and you can upload the return GSTR 3B from here itself. Coming back to the computation, similarly, when other returns are there to be filed, we can file the other returns also from here. Another very important thing is to get the comparison of GSTR 2A with the input tax credit that we have claimed in our return. So let me directly come to this. This is very important because in many cases we have filed our GSTR 3B, computed our liability of GST on the basis of that, but we have not seen, because 2 is not being filed, GSTR 2 presently is not being filed, and we have not even seen, but the 2A, the invoices that the suppliers have uploaded on the website, they are available for viewing, they are available for download, but most of us are not checking those and comparing it with our GSTR 3B, because of which there could be gaps between the two. There could be differences between the two, and that could be a possible reason for liability on account of GST and even interest. So let us see, and we have given this fantastic facility of comparing ITC through GSP services. We'll go to the website, GST portal, and authentication OTP will come here. OTP. So we'll put in the OTP that will come on the mobile. It even shows the time left in which the OTP will expire. दिल्ली वाला किस पे आता है? दोबारा करूँ फिर? बताओ. One five one. So we'll put in the OTP and the data is being fetched from the GST portal like this. It shows the name of the assessee, the GSTIN, then the taxes being claimed is ITC in GSTR 3B on the left hand side, and comparison of the same shown by the counterparties in GSTR 2A, and the year and the month also is being shown here. So side by side you can see very easily you can compare the data of ITC on purchases and that being offered by your counterparties in GSTR 2A. So if we see in this case, ITC of IGST, what I've claimed is 1,47,257, whereas that being offered by my counterparties or suppliers is 1,20,426. So a difference of 26,830 rupees. Similarly, in the case of CGST and SGST, the amount that I've claimed is 77,066, whereas the suppliers have only offered or uploaded invoices in which ITC is of worth 66,117 rupees, a difference of 10,949 in CGST and SGST. So, what is the implication of this? This red shows that this is a shortfall, or in other words, I have claimed excess ITC in respect of these taxes, meaning thereby that I will have to pay back these to the government. Subsequently, when the supplier uploads its invoices, I'll get the benefit, but as of now, as the position is now today, in that case I'll have to pay this GST back to the government together with interest at the rate of 24% per annum. May seem harsh, but that is what will happen. So please be careful, and this is a very important report, and this should be regularly accessed by you, and you should regularly check it. And if there's any because GSTR 3B you'll be filing and the people will be filing, the counterparties will be filing GSTR 1, which will come to you in the form of GSTR 2A. There always be some difference because of various reasons, and you must compare these periodically, and if there is some excess liability is there, some excess claim you have made, so you must definitely pay it back to the government. Otherwise, because the government has already started this exercise, already notices are being issued to people, to the various assessees, and in the times to come the pace will increase. So it is very important that we take care of this, regularly view this report and deposit the liability whatever is there together with interest. And you can again re-import the data using this button, re-import 2A, and it here shows you when the GSTR 2A was last downloaded. So again, a very important report. And now if you see this difference, but after seeing this difference you will want to go to the details. So these details are also available. There's a button through which you can get the data from there, or we can also come here and check the get GSTR 2A from GSTIN, and we will use the GST API services, and here again we are getting the data as per accounts and the data as per GSTIN. So if there are some matched data, it will appear here. If there is some mismatched data, it will appear here. If there is some data which is there in accounts but not in GSTIN, it will appear here, and exists in GSTIN but does not exist in accounts, it will appear here. The different buckets are there through which we can understand why the difference is there. We can make the necessary corrections and proceed. Then we also have the option of paying tax from here. We can use the pay tax facility. We can select the payment mode. Let's say it's e-payment. We will select the bank, whatever the bank is. and then this will take us to the banking site of this bank, internet banking site, and there we can make the e-payment, and the already the payments which have been made are appearing here, as you can see. And then and if any pending issues while checking the various returns or while punching the data, if you see some issues are there, you can note down your pending issues here. They will keep appearing, and they will be a reminder to you while before filing the returns, so that if there is some mistake, you can first rectify it, and then only the return will be filed. Then return filed entry, it shows you all the kind of returns which have been filed. You can select the type, let's say GSTR1, then it will show you the various type of returns, the acknowledgement number, and the filing dates. Then the various reports are available when you go to the regular dealer. That importing of data I've already showed you. Then you can also import data from GSTIN using the GSP services of Webtel. Then in GSTR1, if you want to see the various details, invoice wise details, you can view it from here. If you want to search a particular invoice, then you can click on invoice number and you can punch in the invoice number like this. This is appearing here. This way you can search it. You can search it on the name or the party name, the invoice number, GSTIN, etc. All these facilities are available. Sorting it, again, you can sort it party wise as been done now. You can sort it invoice date wise. You can sort it GSTIN wise. All these facilities are there. Then you can search it GSTIN wise. You can search it party name wise, invoice number wise. All these facilities are available. You can even export this data to Excel. So this facility is also there. Then again, a very good facility is validating GSTIN. Many times the GSTIN is incorrect that we receive from the party, or while punching, the accountant may punch in a wrong GSTIN. So that is a problem. And to help you in that, we have provided this facility of validating GSTIN. So we can, let's say we can do it for creditors. Already you can see most of the GSTIN have been validated by me or the system, and if there's some remaining, I can click on validate GSTIN and it will start validating the GSTIN like this. And it says for all the 47 are valid. So all this been done. So whenever you do it for the first time, you'll get, or whenever there's some additional entries are there, you can check for those also. Again, you can use the export to Excel facility to even export this report to Excel. Then similarly, other returns for compounding assessees, we can file GSTR4, and similar facilities are available for him also, validating GSTIN, advanced tax, debit credit notes. All these facilities are there. Then GST ITC04, in case you are sending goods for job work to the job worker, so GST ITC4 can be prepared from here. Then again, very important, e-way bill. This facility is also there, that we can generate e-way bill from here itself. Again, different facilities are here. We can import the data from the sale register like this. If we can give a particular date, let's say from March to this date, we can or let's say a smaller date. And we can load the data. Probably there is no data till this date. Let me do it for the data will come here, and we can use this data. Some entries do not exist in the sale register, that is why it's not coming. So the other option that we have is to bulk import. we may be having data already in Excel, so we can use the data, copy that data and paste it here, and from here also we can generate e-way-bill. Bulk entry system is there. Then even single e-way-bill can be generated from here like this. You can punch in the different details of the invoice and the transporter, etc., and even the facility of adding transporter from here is also available. So we can punch in the data and we can save it and generate e-way-bill from here itself. And this facility of generating e-way-bill is there. Once the invoices are there, then we can generate e-way-bill, we can export this data to Excel. So all these facilities are available. And the report of consolidated e-way-bill will also be there, and here we can also log into the e-way-bill portal from here. Then the other returns, GSTR 6, GSTR 7, etc. are there. As and when these will be required, these will be updated. Then you can also various facilities of backup and restoration of data is available. Then you can also use the this facility to log into the department's website using the GSP services, and then you can file the returns. Other facilities that are available are the live update of the software, downloading the patches, etc., and all these facilities are there. We can modify the periodicity of the return. Then the various educational videos regarding the software are there, which you can access. Then another facility is of e-book. So this facility of e-book has been given, whereby the various GST acts and the GST rules are being updated on a regular basis, because changes are so frequent as of now that it is difficult to keep track of the same, and even the books cannot be updated so soon. So here we have an e-book of GST wherein all the sections and the rules are being updated on a regular basis. As you can see, this green portion is the updated one portion, and you can even compare it with the GST Act with the rule, or vice versa. What the rule says and what is the relevant section for the same, you can compare the two. Many a times when we are referring to a rule, we have to refer to the section also. So it provides you the two side by side. Again, a very important facility. Then we can go to the next one. This way, next or previous we can use to go to the different sections. Similarly, when we go to the rule, we can, let's say, regarding tax invoice, we want to see. If we want to know about tax invoice, we have to see what the Act says. This is the detail, and whatever the hyperlinks are there within a prescribed period, then you can click it. What does the prescribed period means? Here you will get that in the rule. So again, very convenient. You don't have to refer different books or even websites for this purpose, and you can compare the acts and rules wherever necessary. You can compare like this. This is how it can be done. So again, very useful facility. So that was all in the demo of the software. Thank you very much.